Hello again, my name is Craig. This is Quarantine with Craig day 10-ish. I missed yesterday because I kind of just wanted to chill out. We're all kind of stuck indoors at the minute. It's all a bit weird. And I realised that probably for the last 10 days, I haven't taken a break. I've been spending too long sitting looking at this computer, and I thought I needed to take a break. And then there was also the topic that today is about. I've been procrastinating on talking about this topic because it's outside of my wheelhouse. All of my other videos have kind of been about productivity or design and marketing and the stuff I really know deeply. And today's topic isn't about any of those things. It's kind of a little bit about productivity, but it's got a very simple message, and it's something I believe quite strongly in, and it's something that I've been learning and growing with for quite a while. A while back, probably a year or two back, I decided to start a podcast. I knew nothing about podcasting, and I did it the only way I knew how to do any of these things, and I decided to make a podcast every single day for 365 days because it's the way I learn stuff. I do something daily until it becomes habit and until I get good at it, or at least less bad. And I realised that with this video, I was delaying doing this, and I've been delaying doing YouTube for a very long time because of this same reason. I've called this video simply Stop Asking for Permission. You don't owe anybody anything, and you can just go out and do something if you want to do. Don't wait until you get good at something or wait until you've got an audience. Just start making and creating and doing something and stop asking for permission. So there's this idea that we've all got in our minds of us versus them. Them being the really popular people on Twitter or Instagram or Facebook or wherever you spend most of your time. Those people like PewDiePie, who's got 50 million people watching his videos on YouTube, and then there's you with your YouTube channel or your Twitter or your Instagram with 1 or 2 followers or maybe a couple of thousand. And there's this big idea between us and them that we are somehow not worthy to be doing what they're doing because we're right down here. I mean, it can be expressed in another way as well. We see ourselves as us, as having no capital, no social capital, no audience, nothing of worth to provide to anybody. And we see them as the people as having everything, as the people who are the gatekeepers and the people who should be creating this content. But the truth is, they were at one point us, and we want to become them. So it's a big old circle. They had to start where we are. They had to start with no social capital, no audience, no nothing to get to where they are today. And we have this thing in our minds that we're always asking ourselves, who am I to? Who am I to make YouTube videos? Who am I to make an Instagram account? Who am I to tell people how to do things? Who am I to do this? Who am I to do that? Who am I to start a podcast? And you've got to try and remember that all of those questions, particularly the who am I, the thing that comes up the most whenever I start anything as well, when I first started my podcast, when I first started an Instagram account, when I first started tweeting a little bit differently and started saying stuff that I really wanted to say, I started thinking, who am I to say these things? Can I say these things? Of course I can. No one's waiting for permission, and I had to steal my permission to start it. We're all kind of het up and obsessed with this analysis paralysis or overthinking. We can just get so wound up in a ball about these kind of things that we just overthink them so much, and we forget that all we have to do really is just get started with something. Because if we don't get started with something, if we don't just begin something, we start to think, well, I need to get this thing in line before I can do that thing, and then we think, I need to get this thing in line before I can do that thing, and before we know, that first thing that we wanted to do, just the one thing, the one Instagram post, the one YouTube video, the one Twitter post, the one thing, the one blog post, the one email, whatever it was, before we know it, we're here. We've got this big ball of all sorts of stuff. The tiny ball that started like this has suddenly become this, and it's insurmountable, and we don't know where to begin, and we've begun to overthink things and get stuck in kind of analysis paralysis. The easiest thing we can do is to get to this, is to just get started. Please just start the thing that you're doing. It doesn't matter that you haven't got an audience, because everybody starts with zero audience. Please, if you take anything from this, just remember you don't have to ask for permission to do something, no matter how ostentatious it is or how ridiculous it seems. Just go steal your permission instead. Don't ask for it. So I'm Craig Burgess. I tweet the most on Twitter, obviously. I'm on Twitter the most, which is Craig Burgess, just at Craig Burgess, and you can find more about me over at getdoingthings.com. I'm doing these videos daily, around daily-ish, unless I need to take a break, whilst I'm in quarantine, and who knows how long that's going to be now. So I hope you'll be back tomorrow, and I will see you then, and thank you so much for listening.